Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Garage Gang Podcast. This is episode number 40. I have Joe to my left and Aaron to my right.
Oh my gosh, Kenny, you've lost a lot of weight.
COVID's been better. COVID's been rough to you.
The glow up is real.
So, with us today, we have Jessica Jackson. She's a good friend of the podcast. She's replacing Kenny because Kenny has the coronavirus.
The Rona.
He has the vid. So yeah, we're just really excited to have you on the podcast today.
Been a long time coming, honestly.
It has been.
We've been talking about this for a while, so I'm super glad that.
Yeah, I'm excited to be here.
Kind of get your life story and have some fun.
Yeah, I'm excited.
All right, so most people around here, they'll know you as Jessica Miller.
Yes.
Because you are John Miller and Danelle Miller's daughter. You have your sister Leah. You married Devontes.
I did.
Who is an absolute badass. We love you, D. Just kind of tell us what it was like growing up on the Central Coast and how much you love here.
Yeah, I was born and raised in Pomo. My family has been here for generations. When I met Devontes, I told him, I said, I'll travel with you, but I am not moving. I said, we are too established here. My friends are here, my family is here, and, we're just super blessed to live here. And it's just different when you have so many generations of family and friends, and it's a blessing to raise our kids here.
And when you say, have those family and friends, I have never seen a group that is more together than the group that, our friend circle has.
Yeah.
With the Holloways, the Cajases, the Millers.
Yeah.
It's literally and it's not like those people, you see them, every once, every single event, every birthday, every graduation, just everything. That whole group gets together, and then on top of that, there's always pictures of them, on the weekends hanging out. It's super cool. You don't get to see, a group like that stays together, and then not only are the parents great friends, all the kids become great friends like that too, and you guys have all have
and the best part is the our parents' grandparents, and so.
Oh really?
Yeah, it's just and then us together, there's just such that bond, and I swear, every life event we've all been in, we're always there,
always
together. It could be anything, and it's just I just remember when my grandma would go to the hospital or something, I would just call Lacey. Lacey's my go-to person, and it's just to have that connection with someone it's just honestly the biggest blessing. Were you overwhelmed when you saw our friend group?
Being the newbie, I was like, oh man, that's a lot of people to get to know, but it was just really cool, and I just felt like I just fit right in. Yeah. So you guys made it really easy.
I kind of married into it, because I got with Kayla, and it was I was trying to get used to her family. So then I'm trying to get used to the family dynamic. And then on top of that, we start going in and start meeting all these people, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I kind of knew half of them just through the years, but I didn't really get to know them. And I love.
Well, that was Devontes when he met everyone. He was super quiet because he didn't his family's big, but not the big groups that we have. Yeah. And he would just I just feel was awkward in the beginning, so I'd always tell him, hey, you need to talk more. You need to talk. We're gonna judge you.
Well, and he's not a quiet guy. It's not
no. Well, now person. He's not, but the awkwardness in the beginning,
Absolutely.
So yeah, but he's definitely made up for it.
Yeah, right. He definitely lets his voice be heard.
Yep.
Okay, so obviously you grew up here. I believe I met you. I was my junior year. I was dating Santina.
Oh my!
And I met you. She introduced me to you at some point.
Because I was in 8th grade.
Yeah, I believe you were in 8th grade at that point. And I met you, and then I knew about you in high school. I was a senior, and you were a freshman. So we had the same groups, but I'd say a lot later in our lives, once I started dating Kayla, we became a lot closer.
Yeah, in high school, I tried to hang out with Aaron all the time. He was too cool for everyone. And Aaron was the hot senior, the football player.
Snap.
And he just too cool for everyone. He had his little group. He did not, Thank God I had Kayla, because I'm friends with him.
Yeah, too school for cool or what?
Yeah.
Too cool for school, you mean?
Too school for cool.
You're an idiot, Joe. But yeah, I was. No, it wasn't that. It was just I don't know. I had my group of friends, and I don't know. You were also a freshman. I don't know.
There was a lot of pressure if you're
a
senior hanging out with a freshman.
It was you, but it wasn't we're not close like we were now, you know.
So funny.
But yeah, I do remember that.
That is 17. That was great. You guys went to a dance together, didn't
We
you
did,
guys?
yeah. That was like when we first met. It was like the
Oh
whole
my
dance
gosh,
deal.
I
Yeah.
remember those pictures. I'll show you later.
Okay, so yeah, we met you there, and then like I said, we got a lot closer later because of Kayla. What about you, Joe?
When did we meet?
Oh,
I know it's been a
wait.
few years.
I think, didn't we meet because of you?
Yes.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where
Because
was it?
Joe,
It was
When
some
Jo-
birthday party.
when
I
me and
think.
Joe first became friends, he didn't have like a lot of people here that he would go like hang out with and whatnot, and so I just invited Joe to everything.
But like
And-
we clicked because we're
Oh, yeah.
Portuguese, so
Yeah.
I was like, you're gonna be my friend forever,
Right?
Like we're connected forever. But I just remember when I think you were getting a gift from Melanie from me. Wait, let's go back though. Are we gonna talk about how I introduced you to Melanie?
Yeah,
Or
sure.
you guys are?
Yeah, we can
Okay.
talk about that.
Okay, we went to a Luke Bryan concert, and did I have an extra ticket, or did you have the tickets?
I had an extra ticket, and I was supposed to take Jason Costa.
Okay, well he was gone, and then I was like, I'm gonna set you up. I'm gonna bring someone. So I set him and Melanie up, and
Which we already knew of each other.
yeah, but you guys were into each other.
But we were definitely into
Yeah.
each other. And at that point in my life, I was kind of going through a lot of different things. Wasn't ready for a relationship.
And then I was the angel that came in and delivered you Melanie.
Yes.
Okay.
Though that concert was probably one of the funnest nights of my life.
Best. Did you go to the Luke Bryan concert?
I believe
Yeah,
I was
you were there.
Yeah, we
Oh
have,
my
we,
God.
we all
We
got
were all
pictures
there.
of that. Yeah, I was
Did I
shit
see
faced.
you?
I don't remember that concert very
Yeah.
well. I remember I had a really good time, but my stack of the lemonade and
Oh my
vodka
God,
cups
so
at the
good.
end.
I miss those.
Well, because I was always like beer. I drink beer at the concerts, and then I found it was like behind the grandstand, the not the main grandstand, the
Yeah.
other one. It was behind
Yes.
that. It was like this little like vodka truck.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, ding, ding,
That's the
ding.
spot.
And I didn't care that they were $14 a pop. I was like, pour me
Isn't that
doubles,
so
and I'll
crazy?
take them. Like,
Yeah, but anyways, I just remember I want to say this that time went on, and I remember you were getting a gift from me for Melanie, and you had just thought of the podcast. You guys had just thought about it, and you were like pumped. You were like so excited and like sweating. You're like, yeah, and you're like telling me about this idea about the podcast and the garage gang, and like I was just like, I called Devontes. I'm like, Joe's on one right now. Like, we got to check in with him. Like, is he okay? And I just remember like your fire and like your drive for it, and then talking with you about it. So I'm super excited to be here and to be a part of this because I really remember that day, and that it didn't happen. It was just a start, but I saw it.
I could tell you right now, a year or like a little over a year into this, if you would have told me in January that we would have talked to some of the names we've talked to
I know.
and
Yeah.
been able to like grow this network, we got some stuff coming up in the woodworks. I don't want to announce it yet until it's official, but we got some really cool stuff with the community coming up here. Like if you would have been able to tell me that this is where we would be, I'd have been like, you are full of shit. Like,
And
there's no way.
it's I think the best part is like with me, Aaron, and Kenny, like it's like we all have the same like dreams and aspirations. So we all each want to work with the community. We all each want to grow and like be a part of this community. And when like local restaurants and other people like start reaching out to us, like, hey, we want you to like do a feature with us. Like that's cool.
Yeah.
Because
And
my best friend's doing it in Tulare right now. Like he is growing like the downtown area. So like to be a part of that over here is incredible.
Yeah, it's like you guys are like the three of you are like all so different and
So
so unique.
different.
So when you have like all three of you guys together, it's so great. Like it's the
It's the
greatest.
best.
yeah, we've said before, we just try to keep it calm, keep it
I don't know how
just-
you can keep it going.
well, you know
Three-
what I mean.
three
Just
guys
You throw
hanging
Kenny in
out,
here,
yeah.
it's
just
like,
keep
oh
it chill,
God.
where it's like we're just three dudes hanging out in the garage talking,
So
and
great.
it's worked out so far. So that's where
Yeah.
we're trying to take it. Okay,
Story
So,
time?
Yeah, we're gonna do
Ooh.
story time right now.
So nervous.
Before we do this, so today's story time is gonna be the worst date we have ever been on. I'll let Joe start out. I want to hear his
Okay,
story.
yeah.
This is okay. So yeah, I want to say probably 4 or 5 years ago, I was still living here, and I had met a girl that lived in Clovis. So a lot of times, like I would go to Tulare and then just drive to wherever and go on different dates, like putting myself out there. And
He dated Valley Girls for a while.
yeah, that was my thing for a little bit. But so I took this girl out, and super cool girl, we had a lot in common. We went to this Italian restaurant in Clovis, and it was really nice. And then like all of a sudden, like something happened during the date. Like I just felt the vibe like switch, and I'm like, what the hell? Like she started like texting on her phone and like just not paying attention, not responding to like my questions. And in my head, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, like
I'm bombing
she hates me.
My God.
Yeah.
So in the meantime, like my phone's in my pocket and I keep like feeling my phone vibrate. And at that time I had a group message with my cousin, her best friend, and her boyfriend. And so I'm thinking like it's them, you know, whatever. I don't want to be rude on a date and check my phone. So finally, like I was like, hey, I'm going to go to the bathroom. And so I go to the bathroom and I'm like thinking to myself like, oh, this is like the worst date ever. Like, how am I going to get out of this shit? And so finally she comes back and she like hand motions to me to check my phone. And I'm like, what? And I get like 10 text messages from her saying, hey, I'm having an asthma attack. I can't breathe. And I'm like,
took her breath away.
I was like, holy shit. Like, what do I do? And like, I don't know. The coach in me was like, put your hands over your head. Like,
oh my
you're
through your
gonna
nose,
open up
out
your
through your
airways.
mouth.
Yeah. And I was like, what is it? Like somebody's like perfume or cologne? And she signaled, yeah. And I'm like,
Was
oh
it
my
yours?
God. No, it wasn't mine. I wear Fierce by Abercrombie, by the way.
Ooh,
Still
expensive.
freaking
every time.
We gotta
I'm surprised
shout
it like
that out.
Axe or something.
Yeah.
I would like Old
Maybe
Spice
in
body spray.
7th
you know?
grade. But so I ended up taking her back to her house. Had to drive like really slow and pull over a few times because she was
She
having
didn't have
like a
any
panic
medication
attack.
or anything with her?
I was like, "Do you have your inhaler?" And she texted me. She's like, "It's at home." And I'm like, "Well, shit, okay."
How
So,
far away were you from her home?
Probably like 10 miles.
Oh, okay.
But in Clovis, you had to get on the Highway 41 and then merge traffic and all that shit. So it took about 15 minutes to get there. She finally got her inhaler and finally like was able to breathe, and it was just really awkward after that.
Well, yeah. Well, but you could say you took her breath away.
Yeah, I did. I literally did. And the best part was in this little group message that I had.
Are you
I'm like,
blushing right now?
no, I'm just laughing.
He's blushing.
No, I'm not. In this group message I had, I told them, I was like, do you guys, this girl just had an asthma attack on this date. Like, what do I do? And my buddy Mike sends me a gif of the sloth, like whispering in that person's ear, and it says, damn, girl, you got that asthma, though. And I'm
That's
like,
good.
oh, man. Yeah. Worst date ever.
That's rough.
You kind of saved your life though, so.
Yeah.
I did.
I mean, that's actually not that bad.
It was just really awkward for me.
I
So I was like, what do I do?
Here yours.
So for me, it actually has to involve my wife, but I was not on a date with my wife.
How does that work?
You'll see. So in high school, she was a junior and I was a senior, and at one time I was dating one of her friends. I won't say names. I was dating
I want to know. Tell me later.
I was dating one of her friends.
She who shall not be
She
named.
who shall not be named.
Okay.
And she was dating one of my friends. And so we went on a double date and we went to watch the movie Eagle Eye, you know?
Yep.
And there was like another couple there with us, but I don't remember. And so we're sitting there and we're watching the movie, and like I am striking out. Like I have no luck. I'm trying to like, obviously you're at the movie theater.
I thought you had
like,
game.
I didn't in high school.
Yeah.
I had no game.
He's
apparently.
lying.
No, but anyway, so I was like striking out, and I'm like, dude, what the hell? Like, I cannot get anything going, And the entire time, I'm looking over, and I'm seeing Kayla and my friend
I know too much.
making out for literally the entire movie. So this is like the first time I'm meeting Kayla. So it's funny because I tell people my first like
Encounter,
impression
yeah.
or of my wife was her making out with one of my friends, and I've actually asked her this question like before. I'm like, hey babe, do you remember that part in Eagle Eye, blah blah blah? And she was like, I've never seen Eagle Eye, and I was like, you're right, you didn't watch it. You weren't watching.
That's
That was
good.
a dumb question.
That is
But
good.
like, I can't really say I've had bad dates, but that right there was like a bad experience because I remember I was like, dude, like this sucks.
At least you like knew. You're like, I'm gonna marry that girl right there.
Oh, I had no idea. I thought my buddy was gonna marry her, and then
That would have been interesting.
oh my god, and then like yeah, a few years later, I went to the restaurant where she was working, and the rest is history. But yeah,
Love it.
what about you, Jess?
I was really stressed when I kind of got the scoop that you were going to ask me this question because I feel like I don't know if I like been on an official date ever like Devonte because we were together through high school. Like I just partied. But the one thing I do remember that I can relate is I think it was homecoming. I mean, like you did the general dinner date and the whole night with the pictures. And I think I was a freshman at the time. I think it was. And I just remember going, I'm not going to say his name, on the date with him. I think he may have been my boyfriend at the time. Don't remember. But anyways, we get to the dance and he ditches me for my cousin.
Oh, no.
I'm not even kidding.
No way.
So I was like, all dressed up, cute, ready to like dance and didn't have anyone, but it may have been my sophomore year. I don't know. Cause I just remember texting Christian Wolf, which I could say his name because I'm married to his cousin.
Yeah.
And he was there and Devonte was there. And I just remember being like, well, screw you too, blah, blah, blah. And I found Devonte. And I just remember.
Is that the kind of when it first started?
No, well, that was the beginning. Like he had just moved here.
Okay.
But
he was still wearing do-rags?
no, not yet. No, he looked different though. Like you could tell he was like.
No, he looked different.
but-
He was
Oh, yeah,
not.
he
He's not the
was-
same Devontae.
Yeah, not
we
the
have
same.
now.
I've seen pictures.
Yeah, totally different. But I just remember like we just danced and had a great time. And then they started dating, like my cousin and this guy. I'm like, this was so like,
What is
this is
Awkward.
weird. This is so weird. But it was a great night. Like I don't care.
It worked out, right?
Devontae was cute. So.
There you go. Obviously, right?
Yeah. Hey.
Okay. Well, so then you and Devontae met in high school. What your
Okay, so that was my
what-
sophomore year. Okay,
so
it was
your
my
sophomore
Yeah,
year.
my sophomore
And
year.
he was a junior, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so tell us about that. Tell us your guys'
Okay,
kind of story.
so I love telling this story.
Oh, I
because
love a good love story. This
Oh,
is
it's
awesome.
so good. Okay, so I was by the weight room.
Okay.
Okay, you know how you used to all work out there? So I just remember seeing this guy and like, a new guy comes into Pomo and we're like, shit, you got to get on it now because these guys are going to stay forever and you got to claim yours now if you're not moving. So I remember seeing him like, ooh, he's cute. Like,
Hey.
mixed guys in Pomo. Like, got to get on
Yeah,
this
there's
one.
not very many of them.
So I just knew it was Christian's cousin, right? And so I was like, hey, like, I need your cousin's number now. And Devonte will tell you to this day, I was the first girl that texted him. Like, I got on that real quick. So
Dang.
we, like, were friends at the beginning. And, yeah, we were friends at the beginning, though. He actually hated me. He said I was a tease. He did not like me. And then I think it was track season. We were just, like, we randomly, like, kissed on the quad.
Oh, my
And
gosh.
everyone, it was like, they all freaking froze and looked at us. And we're like, oh, shit, we're committed now. We got to do this.
It's
we got
gotta
to move
happen.
forward. Yeah, and we just connected. We were actually really good friends up until we dated. Other than him hating me in the really beginning. But yeah, it was just, he's just my person. It's hard to explain, but all through high school, his college, and then just life. It's crazy.
Hey, when it's meant to be, it's meant to
Yeah.
be.
10 years. Actually, 11 years this year.
That's
Wow.
crazy.
Yeah.
Like usually with our friends, there's not many people that can say they've been together longer than me and Kayla because I think we're at 10 now.
Yeah.
To
So, yeah,
to
you
really put that in perspective, for me, October of 2011, I moved here, so it's gonna be 10 years that I moved here. So you guys have
Yeah.
been dating longer than I've been living here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a trip.
Crazy.
Yeah, old Jessica and
man.
Devontae. Okay, so you guys obviously were together throughout high school.
Yeah.
One of the big reasons that we have you on today is to kind of talk about your story as a mother and the struggles, the trials, tribulations, and then the peaks, So starting that off, you obviously were a young mother.
Yes.
Kind of tell us, and what that was like. Like, what were the struggles, and what were the good things about it?
Devonte was at Dixie State, and
That was in Utah, right?
in Utah, yeah.
Yes.
So he was playing football there. My senior year, I actually drove away and with his mom and went to go pick him up because he was going to move back home, and he just needed to be home.
Yeah.
And I just, got pregnant with Kaden my senior year, and no one really knew until I graduated. So I was 18. I ended up moving out of the house after graduation. I lived with his mom and him in town, which was like a total lifestyle change for me because I grew up on a farm.
Yes.
And then going into town, I was miserable, but I knew we just wanted to be together.
Yeah.
And I think the struggle is just, trying to find yourself too at that age and having a kid. And thank God I have the family I do and the support because that helped,
100%.
so much. And like I feel like I've always been like motivated and just not independent, but like I had that drive to just be successful in
But
life,
I think
right?
independent is a good word
that a
for
good word
you.
for
It
you?
really is.
I don't know.
You really are.
And so I just I don't know, having him so young, I just feel like just kind of put that fire, like just kept it lit under me. And I just remember people would tell me like, oh, your life's gonna be over if you have this baby. You're not gonna be able to do this, and just all the negative. And I just wanted to be like, I could do it.
Oh, I'm gonna do it.
I'm gonna do it, and I did it. Like I didn't stop going to school. I was pregnant all through school and had him, and then I had Kierst, and I just never gave up. And I think there definitely, as much as there is blessings in the greats and the positive, there was negative. I mean, we did struggle.
Oh, you can't.
Getting
Yeah.
our own,
Anyone who tries to
Yeah.
tell you, "Oh, it's all rainbows and sunshine having kids,"
no.
no, it's not.
No, but we've always provided for Caden when we were, he always had everything he needed. Our bills are always paid. We may have not at the time had a lot of money, but you could not tell because we were just like, our faith was so strong and we just knew it. We knew it.
Mm-hmm.
And, it felt like the world was against us at times, but I mean, we did it. And, I think it was just part of the journey, and everyone has their, journeys in life. And just, I think it could be an inspiration, I feel like, to other kids who, at that time have kids that young. It's like, you can do it if you put your mind to it. Don't let the negative people like bring you down, because
100%.
the blessing is, you can't see it now, but like, when everyone's against you, but like, if I would have listened to those people back then, my life would not be the same.
I can
You'd
tell
be
you right
miserable.
Yeah.
now, that boy that came out of that
I know.
is absolutely amazing.
I know.
Our
Love
family
him.
adores Caden.
I know.
So
Sweetest boy.
we absolutely love him.
Yeah.
Kier's too. I'm not, but
My little
but
fireball.
yeah, he's a little fireball. He's just like our second born. They're
Yeah.
crazy, but definitely the best decision of your life.
Yeah.
That little boy is absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
And for the trials and tribulations you
Yeah.
went through with that, I mean, you guys have come out on the other end very
Yeah.
well. Me and Caleb talked about it numerous times. We look back on the first, because Sawyer just turned 6.
Yeah.
We look back on the first 3 years that we had her, and shit was rough.
Yeah.
It was not easy. There were times where I was working 2 jobs. Kayla was struggling with her hair career at the time because she was just trying, when you're starting out. And it was I just remember we didn't have very much money, and it was things were stressful. And it's nice being able to look back on those times and being like, if I want to go to McDonald's right now and spend $25, I don't have to stress about it. I don't have to
Yeah.
look at my account to be like, do we
Yeah.
have enough?
Yeah.
Things like that. I know I can't go out and spend thousands of dollars and do all that. I don't know if I'll ever get to that point. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
But having the comfort of being able to go do the small things with your family and not stress.
Date nights. And like different things.
100%. And when you,
Yeah.
and especially when you went through that struggle, with someone, you get to really enjoy the later
Yeah.
parts of it, to where you're like, oh wow, look what we went through. We've said it numerous times. Look what we went through.
Yeah.
Obviously, it wasn't a
Well,
kid at 18, but I
I just had a conversation with my dad, and he was sitting on my couches, and he was like, "Oh, these are so nice," and it was just I kind of just told him it's so nice to obviously I'm not where I want to be in the future, but we're finally able to buy stuff and not get hand-me-downs as much as back then. I enjoyed getting people's used furniture and stuff. I'd redo it. It was such a great time. But just at a point to get the extra stuff and do extra things with your family and
Absolutely.
have the new things. It coming from being on my own younger and not having those things and trying to save and all the things that would come to you when you have money, your money would be gone, and
Absolutely.
So it's just at a point where it's just I'm super thankful, and your struggle definitely helps you because you're very thankful.
And then it seems like the hard work pays off.
For sure.
Mel and I just bought a new washer and dryer. That we were so
great.
stoked for that, and we bought a couch for our house.
Yeah.
it's some of those things.
It's like the little things,
It's grown-up things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me and Kayla, we got it's a funny story. So for Christmas this year, my mother-in-law Kelly, she got me a Kobe Bryant hat, and it says number 8, number 24 forever. Well, she packaged it to me inside of a box for a handheld mixer. You mix eggs and shit like
Oh
that.
my-
So I open up this thing and I'm hell yeah, a mixer. I was so excited to get a mixer because I have to hand mix everything.
Yeah.
And I remember being so excited. And then she looked at me and she was like, Aaron, it's not a mixer.
Oh my gosh,
She's like,
I
it's a
love
hat.
it.
But that, it dawned on me right then. I'm like, I was so damn excited to get a mixer for
I'm
Christmas.
aging.
Like that's
Hey,
like,
we're
this is
almost
adult
30,
stuff.
dude.
I know.
Like, oh my
30.
god. Like we're closer to 30
No,
than you.
I'll be
but
28.
Oh my
I'm really
gosh.
close. How old are you?
29.
Okay, you're almost there.
Yeah.
I'm 29.
We,
Kenny's 30.
Kenny's old
He's
ass
not
is 30.
30 already.
Yeah.
Oh,
Is
yeah.
he?
December.
Oh yeah, Kenny's the eldest of the group.
What? We didn't have a dirty 30? Or I wasn't invited?
Not yet.
No, not yet.
Okay. It's coming.
It's coming.
Better be invited.
Okay, so we talked about obviously having the kids young,
Yep.
growing up with that.
Yep.
I feel like it as like struggles and high times and good times, bad times. Like, what's the best part of being a parent? Because like you guys are parents.
Oh.
Like I'm not a parent, so like what is the best part of like being a mom and a dad?
I just think like I don't know. I had a great childhood. So and I always told my parents like thank you so much for like my childhood. Thank you for
Once you
'cause
become a parent, you realize
I appreciate
what they
everything.
do
Yeah.
to make everything. Yeah.
Yeah. I just love like just seeing their faces, like just so excited, like things we worked hard for and like we're, able to give them or just like go do family walks together and just see their excitement about the world because they're so innocent and like just so happy. So, so the boys are just so kind. They're wild, but I think it's just
They're very kind.
Yeah,
They
just
have
like their
great
face.
hearts.
Yeah, their faces and like the questions they ask me. And then we were getting ice cream the other night, and I like just looked back in the mirror, and I looked at Devontae. I'm like, their lives depend on us. Like these are our babies. Like they're ours. And we just need to protect them our whole life. And I think that's just like the best thing. Like they're ours. You get to raise them into like their future men. And like they're, I just love that. But you're
100%.
girls, so you're like,
Well,
I'm a boy mom. You're a girl dad.
Well, yeah, the thing for me, I grew up with 5 sisters, so I've kind of been like, I guess what's the word, ingratiated into like the girl lifestyle. Like I was used to girls, so having 2 daughters was kind of a blessing for me because I've dealt with baby girls. I have 4 little sisters.
Yeah, it wasn't anything.
It's
really
not.
new.
It wasn't
Yeah.
something that was like, oh my god, I'd say my favorite part of being a dad is like the things you don't notice. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I
get it.
Like them growing up, like they'll do something and you don't notice it the first day, and then like the 3rd day of them doing it in a row, you're like, wait a minute, like she's saying this word and this is a new word, and it's just like just seeing the little increments of them
And
growing
watching them
up
grow,
and
yeah.
them like their maturity and stuff. It's that's my favorite
Yeah.
part, because they, like Hazel right now, she can't say her F's. So whenever she goes to say fart, she says shart.
Oh my gosh.
I shot it, and it's like it's the funniest thing in the
Yeah,
world.
just start
And,
recording. Those are like the best videos. to look
like
back
those
on.
little things, I absolutely love that. I think that is like that's probably my favorite part is like the little tiny things, like, and I think like it'll take me 2 or 3 days to realize when she starts saying her F's, when she says
Yeah.
farted or so, what I mean? Stuff like that, where I'm
Yeah.
like, and that stuff right there is like my
Yeah.
favorite, the small progressions. And my least favorite, because I know that's the next question that's going to come after this, is the screaming.
Oh my gosh.
I hate the screaming.
And it's
Yeah.
like not even like distance, it's like right in your face or
Yeah.
your ear. It's like, why? Like, why are you screaming right in my ear? I don't get it. Like last night, both of them, like, I was like, I don't get this. Like, please, let's not do this right now.
Well, especially in this house, because before we lived here, Jessica and Devontae lived here.
Yep. Love
This house is freaking loud.
It echoes.
It is so
Well,
loud.
we had carpet before, so it was kind of quiet.
Oh,
Then we
okay.
got the wood floor, but it does echo.
The wood floor makes it so loud.
yeah.
I mean, you could hear anything from the back room.
Yep.
And so, other than that, we love it. But it's so damn loud
And with
all
kids,
the time.
it's so fun.
Yes, so fun. Yeah, so fun.
You
What
have a
about
lot
you?
to look forward to.
Gosh.
I'm cool with being Uncle Joe right now.
Yeah.
We're
Right
gonna
now.
be so annoying when you have babies.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna buy you the
You got-
loudest toys.
Oh yeah, drum
I'm gonna buy
set.
you every microphone
Yep.
and 7,000 piece sticker sets.
Oh
and-
man.
Oh, you got no idea,
Oh.
bud.
Play-Doh, slime kits.
Oh, your boys with slime.
Oh,
Oh, my god.
Everywhere.
No,
It's
the
coming.
Jackson boys came over here. I want to say like 2 weeks to us moving in.
Oh gosh.
No, I'm not
Were you
lying.
bring slime?
We found slime in the corners of the girls' room like a year later.
Oh, I
And the
believe
only
it.
time they played slime was with your.
Oh my god.
I'm like, this has
That's
been
so
here for
great.
a long
Yeah,
time.
Dangerous. It's coming for you, Joe.
Right? You have no
Mm-hmm.
idea. Okay.
In time.
So, along with the whole motherhood part of it, you started a company called Tribe.Ma,
I did.
which we are rocking the hats right here. I don't really want to get. I want you to tell us.
Okay.
Tell us a
Yeah.
story about.
Tell us
why-
that story.
Yeah, of course. Okay, so last year, 2020, it was in July. We just decided we wanted to grow our family more, and we're just in a spot where we're like, let's just do this. And it was great. Got pregnant, and come to find out, I just remember the first appointment, there was 2 sacs, and I was like, oh God. I'm like, okay, new one, but like 2, the doctor didn't want to confirm until the next appointment. I just remember calling my mom and be like, okay, because she knew I was pregnant. I'm like, there's a baby. I'm like, but there's 2. And she was like my announcer. She told everyone. But we were so excited. It just, that time frame where I had my next appointment to, confirm the twins, just to hear heartbeats. And like, we knew it because Devontes took a video and I saw the second one. Like, it was so wild. And that time frame of just like planning and like, oh my gosh, how are we going to do the rooms? Like, oh my gosh, like the car will have enough room. I just had gotten a bigger car. So like, this is perfect. And just trying to like plan for the future. And then I went to that appointment and the baby stopped growing. The other baby, it just had stopped sooner. So that one kind of just was into a bleeding sac. And the doctor just told me, no, you can't pass these babies. I mean, you can, but it might take a couple months. What do you want to do? And I was like, well, I don't want to be at work and something happen or like be at home and struggling. And so I had a procedure done. It was, cleaned me all out. I healed, went back to work and, got the go like, hey, if you want to try, to grow your family, I think it's just some bad eggs. I'm like, okay, so I got pregnant again. This was September.
Okay.
And which was like a really quick turnaround, but she said to do it.
Yeah.
Did it. And, again, well, in between, let me tell a story in between. So I just remember being in that moment of just like, this is horrible. Like, I don't wish this feeling upon anyone. And like, I want to like talk about my feelings. Like, I want to talk to someone, but like, I didn't know who to talk to because people don't talk about miscarriages. And
absolutely,
it's just something that is so normal that happened with women. 1 in 3 women do have a miscarriage, and I didn't know who to talk to. And so I just remember going home and instead of like sulking, like, of course I was heartbroken, because you have this vision of your family. Just, I showed really early.
Especially twins. Because then you get
and
this like huge.
Too.
I remember we watched the kids for one of the appointments.
I know you guys were so excited. I was so excited. I just remember showing early because I was just a surrogate, and so my uterus is like, ready to go. And I just remember like being at home and saying, I need to do something. And Devontes, when I had these ideas, he's like, oh God, what are you going to do? Like, let's talk about it. And so I'm like, I'm going to raise awareness. I'm going to talk to women. I'm going to connect with women. I just want them to know, like, I'm going to be that person that if they don't have anyone, like, I'm going to be that one that's going to be there for them.
You're not alone.
Yeah, you're not alone. And so
I think that's like such a hard topic to talk about. And because there's so many emotions involved with it. And, sometimes like family or friends are there for you, but like it's when you're like that hurt and that emotional, like sometimes like you just need somebody to talk to that's not, them.
Yeah.
And I think that's great that you.
Yeah. And one of the things too,
that outlet.
That I have been working on, and it's been a process, but like, I feel like anyone going through something can really take this in. But like during that time as connecting with this woman, it was a time not to like really talk about my experience, but like sit there and listen to them. So, even the stuff I'm going through now, it's like when people ask you like, hey, how are you doing? That's a normal thing. Like, hey, how are you doing? Yeah. Hey, how are you? And you're like, good. It's either good, fine. People don't want to hear you're not good. So it's like, good, great, whatever.
Good, great, living the dream.
Living
Right.
the dream, hanging in there, And so that bothers me when people, because it's like, I'm not okay, in those moments of like going through the miscarriages, like I'm not okay. Yeah. And these women are still not okay. They're not healed. And so my thing right now is I'm trying to not use the, hey, how are you? Unless I'm going to sit there with that person and be present and really listen to how they are, because it's so important to like just use your ears and listen and not connect to everything people are saying.
That's so true.
And so I'm really trying to do my best with this because I really feel like it could really be, a changer in the world to like just be present with people, connect, because some people need to be listened to be connected with.
Conversation is the absolute like best coping mechanism, I believe, for people.
Yeah. And so these women that I've connected with, so my main thing, I just had this vision. I was like, okay, hats, sweatshirts, I'm going to raise money for care packages. Because I wanted to, if I can't be with that woman, all these women in their appointments at that moment when they find out they, are going through the miscarriage, I want to give them something. So what we came up with was a notebook with our logo on it, a pen. We had a local woman make some keychains that are a rainbow, because the saying is after every storm there's a rainbow. So she handmade those. They're beautiful. It says Tribe.Ma on them. My other friend made some bracelets that say inspirational words on them. We just have like this just bag of hope that's just so awesome. So I think I made 20 of them. I'm still I still need to wrap them because I've been going through so much, but we're going to get them into OB offices in the hospitals already. But, and the kids too, because one of the biggest things that, women that have other family members and their kids is going home and explaining to them.
100%.
It's horrible. It's so horrible. So my thing was, okay, the mom can go home with a gift, a really nice stuffed animal, super cute, and a book. And the book is, we were supposed to have a baby, but we had an angel baby instead. So it's just giving that gift to their kid, and that's kind of opening the door to talk about it. And that book is so great. So that was just, what I've been doing, and mainly just connecting with these women and just letting them know that I'm here for them.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Because, it's not something that I guess you really think about, especially being a man. Yeah. That's not something that you really think about. And then I don't want to, but like you going through that, it got me to talk to other people, other women in my life about that. And they had told me, oh, I've had 1 or 2 miscarriages myself. And it's like, wait, I've been your family member for 20 something years and I've never known that. And you realize like how prevalent it really is, and how like you said, 1 in 3, right?
Yeah, 1 in 3.
1 in 3 women go through, and you don't think about it because a lot of them, I'm not gonna say brush it off, but they try to make it to where they don't want to project their problem on everyone else. But that's still the loss of a child. Yeah. I don't care what you say. Yeah. You're holding a life inside of your stomach, and whether it's 3 months old little fetus or what, that is, you created that life. And especially,
there's so many emotions too.
Especially once you know, I'm just speaking from being a dad, so I don't want to speak for you, but once you find out like I'm having a baby, it's like this thing where it just takes over your whole life, and like all you think about is like the name and what you're gonna do and how it's all gonna.
And when you've been planning it too, it's just like it makes it that much harder, So but going back on the story is, so fast forward to September.
Okay.
So then I had, got pregnant again, and then we were like, oh, this is gonna, this is my rainbow baby. It's gonna be so great. And get to that appointment, and the baby stopped growing, and I was like, seriously, again? I'm like, oh my gosh. And so, this time the doctor's like, let's just keep talking. Because my beta numbers weren't doubling, and that's something I'd never watched before. And so they're supposed to double. Mine were going up, but not doubling. And so, I ended up passing this baby at home, and it was horrible. And I've never experienced that before, being at home, and it was life-changing. And again, we're working, the doctor I had through my surrogate journey, I've connected with him again. So we've been making every other week and like every 2 weeks, we go down to Santa Barbara to see him, and he's amazing. So we're hoping, but again, super blessed to connect with these women.
Yeah. I absolutely love that message you're trying to send out, because that's gotta be one of the most vulnerable points for a woman in their life.
And it's helped with the healing part on my end too.
100%.
Well, and
I bet, right?
Out of a lot of my friends, you're probably one of the best listeners, and you're so easy to relate to that you just have this like natural, like you're so easy to talk to. So for somebody to open up of something of that magnitude, I'm sure it's easier for them to like, for you to be that easy to talk to.
You're an open book too.
Yes.
You're a very easy person because you don't mind sharing life experiences. Yeah. Which in a person in your situation, in the company you're trying to start, being open is like the biggest thing. And that's like with us on this, we just try to be open. You have to be open. You have to create conversation. You have to talk to people, because it's therapy. Whether you want it or not, every conversation you have with someone is some form of therapy. You're getting something off your chest. You're getting your mind off of something. So
and just being that person too is just
100%.
Amazing. The women, people that I like know that messaged me, I was the first person they've ever opened up to, and it's just like, this is it. This is what I wanted. Like, I want to be that person. So I'm excited for the future, to be a support system for sure.
And on top of that, you're a nurse, right? Yeah. Who already just is all about helping people.
I know.
So it just fits. It fits the mold for sure.
So before this Tribe.Ma stuff came, you said that you were a surrogate.
I was.
How did that come about? Like,
It
tell
was
us
so- okay.
kind of like that story.
Yeah. So I was going through nursing school, and I had that's a whole nother story of that whole process. But it was December, forgot the year, but I had gotten into the program, and I was just at a point where I really needed to focus with school. And I always had it in my heart, like I want to adopt a baby, or it'd be cool to have a baby for someone, So I just always had that in the back of my head growing up. But I was working and I was going back to school. I just needed to focus. So I deleted all my social media. I was like, I just need to like really be present with myself in this time, just grow and go to school and just figure life out. And so I remember it was March. I turned on Facebook, logged on, and the first thing that popped up was this ad. And it was this couple in San Luis, right? And I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, I read and I'm like, oh, they're looking for a surrogate. And then it sparked. I was like, oh, I've never thought about doing it for someone local. Like, that's awesome. And then I remember I went back to studying. The next week I went back on Facebook, saw their ad again. And I was like, this is crazy. On the third time I saw their ad, I messaged her and I was like, we need to connect. I'm like, I just feel like in my heart, we're supposed to be, we need to meet. We met that Sunday and they had chosen me to be their surrogate. And, everyone asked me why did you want to do that? And it's just, again, going back to the best part of being a parent is I could never imagine, not having a kid and not experience that. And, after laboring
and not being able to get
and
that.
laboring and what a beautiful process that is, and that bringing your kid into the world and all those emotions of just being a parent, not being able to have that. And so I was like, you're at a point where you can change someone's life. And it's not just two people, it's their whole family. It's the child's life. And I, again, wanted to be that person. And I just connected with them. And I think it was June or July, did the transfer. It was one time. And it was, a beautiful baby girl. And she's going to be a year next month. And the family is just so amazing and great friendships we have. And, that's another thing. You really can do anything you set your mind to.
100%.
And I think I was just talking to the mom this week. And I just told her, out of everything that went on in 2020, wasn't, everyone went through stuff and it was not a good year for me, but their family was the light of my 2020. They
Getting to see the pictures.
Yes.
Yeah, but just their family, they're just such amazing people, and it's God works in certain ways, and I needed their family that year, and that was that chunk of time, and just to have them, they needed me for something, but I needed them for just that friendship, that connection, that light. And so we were talking about that, but anyways, surrogate journey was amazing. Yeah.
What did Devonte, I mean, you obviously talked to him about it,
Yeah.
kind of beforehand. What was his reaction? Because that's not your everyday dinner conversation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
he knows not to tell me no.
Yeah.
He knows what I'm when my heart's set on something, I'm going to do it.
You're Nellie's daughter.
Yep,
Don't tell
I'm
her
gonna
to say
do
no.
it.
Well, and
Yeah.
especially for the fact that you felt so led,
Yeah.
not once but twice but three times that
Yeah.
you see that ad, that it's okay, God,
Yeah.
I see you.
And
you know what I mean?
he knew, he knew it was all my faith, and he was I'm going to support you no matter what. And I mean, just as much as it was the medications and stuff, he was always there. He was always there.
And
the
that made
medications,
it that much easier, I'm
yeah.
sure.
Yeah, and it was just the whole process, even the birthing process, it was right in the beginning of COVID, it was so different, but he was there, and it's really you can't do it by yourself, and
I can't
it takes a team, and it was honestly amazing.
So do you enjoy being pregnant? Obviously, I don't think anyone fully
No,
is this.
I enjoy it.
Do you really?
Yeah, it's great.
Oh,
I love
okay.
it. That's why I was I will, if you know anyone that needs a baby, I got you. I'll have a baby for you. My cutoff is 35 though.
Kayla hates
Hate it. She
Kayla,
hated it.
Kayla, after our second child, she got her tubes tied.
Yeah.
And she was like, we're never doing this. Yeah, obviously, I was fine with it because I'm cool with two kids. But it was one of those things where she's like, I'm never being pregnant again. It's so
there's
miserable.
people that actually hate it. Kayla's one of them. She hates
she
it.
was sick all the time. She always had headaches and stuff.
Yeah, that
but then,
comes with it, but
but
yeah.
then she's like, fucking Jessica. She's over pregnant.
love her.
And she's barely gains any weight. And she's all happy all the time.
I
she's
get so big in my face though.
no, but she's it's so, and I'm just you know what? Some people are built for it. And then, this is me and her had that conversation before you became a surrogate. And then when you became a surrogate, I was kind of well, that's kind of weird. You think about it and you're but it makes sense.
Yeah.
For someone who doesn't mind being
it's great.
pregnant.
Yeah, you just
Right.
have to have those boundaries of just you already know it's not your baby, and
Yeah.
you just have to have that mindset. And I loved it. I loved being pregnant.
So what is that mindset like? Like, obviously, this baby, you feel the kicks, you feel them, but you know you are not gonna.
But see,
And you're attached to the baby.
Like-
No,
obviously.
yeah, but I never was. Like, I just, because I knew the bigger picture of what it
Right.
was. And, like, when it's your baby, you're, like, talking. And, like, we did, like, the parents did, like, say messages to the baby when I had little, like, headphones she got me. And, we spent a lot of time with them. But, like, I just knew it,
It's not
wasn't
yours.
mine.
It's a different mindset going
and
in.
I wore like a lot of baggy clothes when I pick up Kaden from school and like be in public because like people like to touch you when you're pregnant, I'm like,
Yeah.
I didn't want people to touch me. Like, I don't want to talk about it. Let's just,
For sure.
This baby's super loud, but like, I don't want to have that conversation, the surrogate conversation
Absolutely.
every time I go in public, go to Devontes,
Right.
So it's just boundaries. But yeah, it was really healthy. It was amazing. Yeah, do it again.
I gotta ask.
Go ahead.
So there was 3 parts in like a surrogacy journey. There's the dad, the mom, and you.
Yeah.
If the baby comes out ugly, whose fault is it?
Not mine. Not mine. Hey, if I was an egg donor, it'd be different.
Yeah,
But no.
man.
Well,
No,
you
I
know
was
what's
just
funny
kidding.
is that like when you told me that, my simple-minded ass was like, wait, so the dude has to like inseminate Jessica? Like what?
We
like
told so
obviously
that's what
I'm
my
like,
mom
what the?
told Leah.
I'm all,
That's
what
my
the
mom
hell?
told
Like,
Leah.
what does this mean? And then Kayla's like, no, you idiot. Like,
No, there's
it's
a whole
in
process.
vitro or whatever that was called,
IVF.
right? IVF. And she's like, they do the all themselves and they put the egg inside you. And I'm like, okay, well, that makes way more sense.
And it's crazy
Like,
too because people didn't know about IVF. So I was kind of like in a position with all my friends and stuff to kind of like educate everyone about
sure.
like this is the process. And everyone's like, wow, that's so great. And then like, but it's not yours. I'm like, no, it's like I'm just like the oven pretty much. But yeah, it's crazy. Science is really advanced. It's amazing.
Set it to 350 and let it cook.
Right.
Yep.
So what was the feeling like giving them their child?
Oh,
Obviously,
it was
they know that
amazing.
they've wanted this forever.
Yeah,
Like,
it was amazing. I just remember, we got there and I just labored because it was beginning of COVID, so it was super different. Labored with Devonte, and then the mom had came in and my epidural didn't work, and so she was it was horrible.
Oh,
but
God.
I
sounds
I
terrible.
do really great with the whole labor process. But I just remember her just rubbing my back and just being so positive, so supportive. And then, we talked about the birthing plan, like what I wanted, but mostly what they wanted. But my main thing was like, I wanted her in the bed with me. Like, I want her to experience what it's like to bring a child into the world. So I, lo and behold, just had her right by my crotch, and she was in the whole thing. And, just birthing the baby, and went straight to her mom's chest, and it was just such a beautiful
Jess.
moment. And just seeing that, I just remember everyone was crying. The nurses were crying. My doctor was crying. Devonte was crying. We were all bawling. And then I just remember like seeing the baby go to her chest and having that moment. And that's just what I wanted. That's why I did it. And then just turning to Devonte, because there's so many emotions when you're, having a baby. So I just remember turning to Devonte and we were just bawling because like we knew that's the moment we wanted and we got it. And it was such a blessing. They, did the whole bath and everything over here, and then got to see her the next day. But, the moment right there is like why.
To be
That was
able
a why.
to give that baby to that family that wasn't able to have,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I sitting here like listening to you talking about how you're like that person for a lot of people. It reminds me so much of your mom.
Yep.
Okay. I wasn't sure how to like bring
Yeah.
this subject up because I know people who don't know, Jessica's mother, Danelle, recently passed away.
Last
But-
day of 2020.
The last day of 2020.
Top it
Just
off.
the
Top
fucking
off
cherry on
2020.
top. God, man.
Yep.
But like, I don't want to give a speech at the funeral because but it was just she's always one of those people. I guess like when I came into the group with Nellie, I was like intimidated. I'm not even gonna lie. The first little bit, I was intimidated because she had like this like look about her where she was like, I don't fuck around. You know what I mean? And it was
Yeah.
like, and you're kind of like, okay, and I like, I don't want to say I avoided her, but I wasn't like a first person.
Yeah.
Well, when she got diagnosed, obviously I like just like I felt like I had to go. I had to, but like I wanted to go talk to her and like say like, hey, I'm thinking about you. I support you. And I got to say that conversation was completely different than anything I thought it would have been. She's one of the most kind-hearted people, so nice. And from there on, me and her had a great relationship.
Yeah.
I would talk to her all the time. I legit would joke with her all the time about the Dodgers and the Giants.
She loved that. I know.
Because
I'm like, I have to bring one of her shirts to
we got
put
the
in here. Okay.
Giants. So he's a Giants fan. So we got the Giants there and the Dodgers.
I know, but like maybe like on your side, she had a lot of Giant stuff. I don't know. Like we need to convert him.
That's not gonna happen.
It's never gonna.
It ain't gonna happen. But it was one of those things where I got close to her, and then you have these conversations with her, like these in-depth conversations, and you're like, wow, Nellie's really awesome and all this stuff. And then I guess like when she passed, you started to hear the stories of like everyone else telling those stories, like mine, and like how they were so close to her. And it takes a special person to be able to connect with so many different people. And
there were thousands of people.
That's what I'm saying. On like she touched. Not just like, oh, like, yeah, I'll, I know you and, I'll help you. Like, I kid you not, if we ever needed anything, we would call Nellie and she'd be there. She would call and make calls and force things. And like, it's amazing to see how she was with everyone. And then to turn around and see the way that you are following right in her footsteps, it is like, it's very nice to see because the world misses your mother dearly.
Well, I'm here.
Yes. But it's nice to know that there's, like a very direct image of her still out there.
I want to kind of bring up something funny. So when she was kind of going through, her chemo appointments and different things, you had asked all of us, hey, like send a video.
Oh God.
Right. Mm-hmm. So in my head, I'm thinking like,
gosh, I remember this.
I'm thinking like, okay, so I'll just make this video and then like they'll edit it and then do whatever with it, right? Not thinking that you guys were just gonna take the video and plop it in. So like everybody's like, "Hey Nellie, love you, miss you, like you're gonna do good." Boom, done. Me, I ramble on for 2 minutes and 30 seconds, and I'm like, I watch it and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, that."
It was great.
It's like a 10-minute video and 2 minutes of it is Joe talking.
I did not know that was gonna happen.
It was public.
It was pretty funny as I watched it.
I think you texted me too. I'm like, I'm not taking it out, Joe. It's in there.
Yeah.
Well, and he also like promised a proposal. And I mean, Joe went all out on that video.
I know. I walked into. I'm like, I'm the reminder for the rest of your life in honor of my mom.
Every time I saw her,
marry Melanie Teixeira.
Every time I saw her, even on social media. Are you gonna propose yet? Have you proposed yet? 3 ring emojis. And you guys
posted those pictures, and we were so excited. We were texting each other, my mom and I. I'm like, no, gosh.
I told Mel too after we took those pictures. I said everybody's gonna think these are engagement pictures,
especially my mom.
Yeah. She's like, oh no, it's fine. Okay.
No, one day, it's okay. No pressure.
It'll happen.
No pressure.
Right?
It's fine.
Oh, you're making promises on YouTube videos.
Yeah, but I thought that was funny.
At least we have it like filmed.
We do. It's out there forever.
Yep.
It's on the internet.
Forever.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we are going to finish off the pod with a little segment we call Two Truths and a Lie. I'm sure everyone knows about it. Joseph, I'm going to let you go first.
Okay. Number 1. I got my first kiss my freshman year by a senior. Number 2. I was nominated most accident prone in high school. And number 3, I used to play the trumpet.
I know that's true. Am I supposed to say it out loud?
What do you think? Which one's the lie?
I don't think you kissed a senior.
Dang. No faith.
I'm sure she did, but it's probably a really ugly senior. So.
No.
I need to see pictures. That's not true.
I'm going to go trumpet. I don't think you play the trumpet. You're drums only.
So I played the trumpet my 5th grade year.
Damn it. Okay.
And I did not like it, nor did my parents like it.
I can imagine.
So I think it was in like 6th grade I switched to drums. My freshman year, I kissed a senior. And she had health class and I had PE in the same period, and we just got to know each other. She had her license. And
I need to see pictures.
She pulled up,
guy.
She's like, hey, can I take you home? And I was like, hell yeah, you can. And so she pulled up like right in my old house, the living room windows, you saw out into the street. And so she pulled up like just like past the window. Like my mom and dad were home. So thinking like, oh, they're not going to see. And of course, they're like, who's this random car that's, pulling up? And as we're making out and shit. And it got pretty hot and heavy. But I come into the house and my dad's like, who is that? I go, who was what? What are you talking about? My dad's like, come on, man. Stop messing around. I go, no, what are you talking about? I rode the bus home. He goes, yeah, as I saw you get out of that green car. It's like, okay, yeah, all right, sure.
That's so great.
So I was not nominated most accident prone. I was in the running. I made like the top 3, but the quarterback got most accident prone. And I was like, man, I could trip on oxygen. Like he freaking gets most accident prone because he's the quarterback. No.
Oh. I was like, I would love to see that.
I would.
I know baseball, right?
Yeah,
I
baseball.
watched him play scout team. You don't want to watch it.
Oh, dude.
would love
I
to
was
see
throwing
that.
TDs all day, dude. TDs all day.
God.
So, yeah, I was not nominated most accident prone in high school. I was close. I thought I should have got it, but yeah, it's whatever.
At least you kissed a senior. That's cool.
I did. That was
Sorry
that was
for
my
saying
first
anything,
kiss.
Whatever.
That was my first
Your
kiss. I was
freshman
pretty.
year?
My freshman year was my
What
first
was your
kiss.
first kiss?
I was very socially awkward.
Junior year.
No.
Yeah.
Of high school?
Yep. I had no game. I'm trying
You're
to telling you.
kidding
I had no
me.
game.
Oh my.
Yeah.
What?
What can I say? I had no game.
God, I think I was in 7th.
And then I was just like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
Hey.
After that, it was but
Wow. Okay.
first girl I ever was like Santina, I think actually.
Really?
Yeah. Crazy, right?
I like how this
Love
episode
it.
has come full circle.
Yeah.
Right.
Hello. Santino, we love you.
Right? Okay, so I'll go now.
Good.
All right. So 1, I took dance class in high school. Number 2, Grease is my favorite movie of all time. And number 3, I never had a winning record in basketball in all my years of playing.
I know 3's true.
I know this one.
What was number 1?
I took dance class in
You
high school.
took dance class. Well, your sister was a dancer, Brittany. So that could make sense. But I know how you feel about oldies. And, like, I don't know. I've never seen you watch Grease.
But it's such a good movie.
It is a great movie. Fuck. I'm going to say you never took dance class in high school.
Me too. I never saw you dance.
Freshman year. Took
Did you really?
I took
That's weird.
I took it because there were a few girls in the class that I didn't mind looking at in spandex.
And your first kiss, though, was your junior year?
Yeah,
What a
dude.
lame-o.
What can I say? I know, right? I hate Grease. Stupidest movie
Like,
ever.
did you date
What?
people? Like,
Yeah, I hate
did you
Grease.
hang out with girls in high school? Like,
I
freshmen?
tried.
Like, what'd you do?
I got friend zoned by everybody. No, I kid you not. Even Kayla, when we first started dating, like she was like, "I don't like you're just too nice," and I'm like, "Who the fuck do I gotta be?" And so I'm not even gonna lie. I started to be an asshole. Like,
And girls started like you?
towards seriously. Like my senior year, I started to be an asshole to women,
Oh my
and
God.
it worked. And
And it worked.
And as
So
terrible,
horrible.
as
Welcome to
terrible,
Mama, guys.
well, as terrible as that sounds, like
Yeah.
it worked like a charm. And it's like, so you just gotta treat them like shit. Okay, I can do that.
Oh my
I got 4
gosh.
sisters. I've been doing it, or 5 sisters. I've been doing it for years. Like I know,
Got
you know.
this and trained.
I
But-
was really
That's so
socially
great.
awkward in high school, and I didn't have the confidence that I had now. If I had the confidence I had now in high school, holy shit, I would freaking.
Oh yeah, I would have ran through high school. But
Oh
I just,
man.
I didn't. I it took me a while to learn game,
Yeah.
no doubt.
I was born with it, so.
Shut up. And then yes, I never was on a winning team in basketball.
I knew that one.
You guys never won?
We were 500 my freshman year. Other than that, Jessica, do you ever remember singing any of our games like my senior year?
Okay, so I played. Oh wait,
You played-
So
you
I
played-
played basketball.
Yeah.
So our schedules were
They were always the same, except you were away when we were
yeah,
home.
and you were home. So I don't think there's like maybe a couple games I got to see.
It was rough.
But
I
like
mean,
I played all
we
the time.
we won my 2 years of varsity. I think me, Kenny, and Jeff had this conversation. I want to say we won no more than like 20 games in 2 years.
Gosh,
It was rough.
crazy. So crazy.
It was rough. Jessica was a star point guard for
Hey.
Napoma High.
I
Now-
can still ball.
And now her sister. Well, is Leah playing
Yeah.
this year?
Yeah, she is.
She is. Okay, so yeah,
Yeah.
her sister and my sister are now playing at Napoma
Yeah, it's
High.
great. I miss sports.
All right, Jess,
them.
it's your
Oh,
turn.
I have to do this.
Two
Oh my
truths
gosh.
and a lie.
Okay. Let me think. Okay. I think I could do this. Okay. I've been to Hawaii twice. My second one is my favorite artist is George Strait. And my third one is I love tequila.
Okay, well, you're drinking a margarita,
Yes.
so I'm gonna say you like tequila. I think everybody loves George Strait.
Okay.
I don't know if he's your favorite though.
I don't think he's your favorite.
I don't think George Strait's your favorite. I don't know your Hawaii plans though. I don't. When did you?
I don't think.
Since I've been your friend and stuff, I don't remember you going to Hawaii. I could be completely wrong, but
I'm gonna go with George Strait.
yeah. Well, that's a lie. You think?
That's the lie. Not that she doesn't like George Strait, but that is not her favorite artist.
Okay.
Well, just because I can't agree with you, I gotta say the Hawaii because I know for sure that I'm guessing you like tequila. Since,
I gave it away.
since
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
in your cup as we're
The
talking
red
right
cup.
Okay. Okay. I've only been to Hawaii once.
Ah.
George Strait is my number one.
Now. Ding 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 ding.
Yep.
How can you not like
Run
George
is
Strait,
my
though?
favorite song all time. by
Oh,
George
really?
Strait. Yep.
How can you not like George
I
Strait?
know.
Though? He's the man.
He is the man. Hello.
Dude,
Well, Jessica,
Gosh.
it's been
You
a
gotta-
thin slice of heaven.
It's
it
been
has.
great.
This is awesome. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for sharing your story, being vulnerable, being able to talk about it. Like we said, that's a big part of what you're trying to do, and yeah, we love it. We're behind you all the way.
Yeah. Thank you guys.
I'm very excited we got through this episode without me shedding a tear.
I know.
I said I was going
I
to
should
bet
have bet
$10
Aaron
without him
$10
crying.
because
I know, me
I'm
too.
very big softy, and I
know.
definitely thought I was going to cry. And
the
I didn't.
beers helped.
Yeah,
They did.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
did. We'll
So,
say that.
Jess, tell them where they can find you for Tribe.Ma, what they can buy. Tell them.
Yeah, of course.
Tell 'em the story.
So Tribe.Ma is on Instagram. It's Tribe.Ma. And I also have my personal page, The Jackson Tribe. I do have a website that's linked on the Instagram page. If you guys want to connect or just simply talk, I'm here for you. And yeah, thanks guys for having me.
Yeah,
Definitely
absolutely.
miss Kenny, but I'm happy I have you guys.
Yeah.
Right.
Kenny's here in spirit.
we don't need the vid.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's it for episode 40. We want to thank Man Rock Brew, our sponsors, for hooking it up. If you want to go by and get yourself a good beer, stop by there. We want to thank Jessica for coming on with us.
Absolutely.
We appreciate you. We love you.
I would love you guys too.
We're excited to see what you can do with this, and yeah, we wish you nothing but the best.
We are on our Facebook page, our Instagram, our YouTube page has been taken off. We've gotten like 20 more plus subscribers since we've been doing stuff exclusively on YouTube. So follow us on our YouTube page, Garage Gang Podcast, our Facebook, Garage Gang Podcast, Instagram. You can listen to us on pretty much any audio hosting site you want: Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Podcast, whatever your heart desires. So
Yes, sir.
thank you, Jess.
Thank you guys.
That's it.
Have a good one.
Bye everyone.
Gigi's out.